Here are the two Ferraris. On the right is Eddie Irvine, on the left is Michael Schumacher. Right front locks up, left front locks up, straight on, no deviation at all, into the tyre wall at a massive speed from an approach speed before he braked of about 190 miles an hour.
Well, he certainly began to turn the first part of the corner, so he didn't arrive at the end of the straight with the steering locked, for example. It is a power steering system on these. They're normally, I have to say, pretty bulletproof. Let's watch it again. He starts to go into the corner, and this is where the loads transfer across the front suspension to, and that's why you tend to snatch the inside. The car's a bit of a strange shape as it first turns in, but without doubt did turn in. But there is no further attempt to turn the wheel, but I have to say, we all know it's virtually pointless to do that anyway.
Well, let me remind you that after the marshals were on the scene very, very quickly indeed, another indication of how good the British marshals are. And there's Schumacher, you see, helping himself out of the car with his arms like a bullet into the tyre wall. But he was conscious enough and with it enough and banging on the wheel there.
Yes, he's thrown the steering wheel out and then there, the monocoque. I don't know whether it's in pain. That looks to me more
like pain than frustration, to be honest.
I'll take your word on that. It's difficult to know, but the front of that car is very short. Look, we have seen a piece of the front of that monocoque, and then the nose and front wing goes on front of that. And it's similar to Panis's accident in Canada
when he broke both his
last
legs.
year, when the front of the monocoque broke a little bit like an egg and did some damage.
Well, these cars are tremendously strong. Carbon fibre tubs and many other units in the car are made out of this very light but enormously strong material, but nothing can stand major impacts of that magnitude.
If you make them too much stronger, the driver's body can't stand the impact after that. They have to deform in some way. There will be a new formation lap at 1:40.
And I was going to say, it's good to remind you that when Michael Schumacher was being taken away from the accident on the stretcher to be put into the ambulance, he was waving his hand, presumably as an indication of the fact that I'm conscious, folks, and think well of me, as we all do. So, new formation lap at 13:40. Well, that is 12 minutes from now. More news from James Allen.
Murray, I'm down at the medical centre here. You saw Michael Schumacher waving his arm, so he obviously, as you say, wasn't that severe. The earliest bulletin so far is that he has got damage to both of his legs, but the extent of that damage is not yet known. Just a few more minutes' time. Heiner Buchinger, his press assistant, has just gone into the medical centre, and also Balbir Singh, who is Michael's physical trainer, does all his physical training exercises. And I'm expecting them to come out in a couple of minutes' time and give me an update. And as soon as I have it, you will have it too.
Thank you, James. Well done. It's nice to know that you're on the spot there, because you know everybody and will be able to get the information as quickly as is possible. And without wishing to seem too downcast, I hope that this does not mean that Michael Schumacher is out for the rest of the season. We've still got a lot of races to go. This is only halfway through the championship, 8 out of 16 races. We'll tell you more when we come back from this break. Silverstone, I make it about 13 minutes before the formation lap again. They're rebuilding the tyre wall, as you can see for yourselves.
Yeah, Murray, that's not just a bunch of old remolds thrown up against the wall there. They're very specifically stacked and bolted together, and then bunches of 4 strapped together, and then occasionally also what they call a conveyor belt, a big rubber belt running along the front of them for good measure. So they've not yet found anything that works better than tyres put together in a very particular way.
Which is just as well in a way. They're very easy to get, and they do the job efficiently. As you say, they've tried all sorts of things, including pneumatic walls. So the Ferrari is removed now from the helicopter. Watch the 2 red cars under the bridge down the hangar straight, with Michael Schumacher on the inside in the red car, Eddie Irvine a full car length ahead as he gives Michael Schumacher room to retain his 3rd position behind the McLarens, and zunk into that tyre wall. Tremendous impact.
One big puff of gravel off the rear tyres just as he hit the wall. Now, I think they would have been throwing gravel out the back had it been a throttle, but he's trying to get out already. Look, he's obviously fully conscious and aware, but I think there could possibly tend to be a final rev of the engine as he went across there, but clearly it was still in gear, and there's no reason why it wouldn't be. But Michael didn't attempt to turn the steering wheel across the gravel.